It's macabre. I'll do it my way. You're mine.
Can't even catch my breath.
Let me strike. Time to bleed.
Blood comes easy these days.
On the victor's path. Today you fall.
Time to push my luck again. Try me.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a little fun.
No holding back.
Trust no one. Hmm?
No time to rest.
wait to be clear of this damn shadow curse. I like darkness, just not when it's trying to kill me.
The Absolute's armies are on the march, and Baldur's Gate is their target.
To Baldur's Gate. Voss will be waiting in this Sharess's caress.
Ah, my favorite traveling companion. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble. A little reclusive, perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure. I hope so, because I am not striking another deal with Raphael. Who knows what he'd demand this time. But if the citizens of Baldur's Gate don't know anything, my brothers and sisters might. Cazador is a master of secrets, but the other spawn must have seen something.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Please. There is little more to be said on the subject. The best thing you and I can do is march on towards whatever awaits us. The end may be close. Time to reap what we have sown.
You wanted something? I'm sorry. It might be best kept until later. I'd be a poor counsel and...
What's on your mind? He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just... it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe, and he paid me well. Well enough to move my folks into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zauriel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zauriel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
Well met.
Where's Shadowheart? I think she'll want a word.
You wish to consult me? A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I thought so too. This world is full of fools, after all. But in this instance, I was mistaken. Our visitors were not fools. They were bait. Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. Indeed. A man you know all too well. General Ketheric Thorm. The dead cough up their secrets just as well as the living. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. I recognize my flaws. Pride is certainly among them. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still. His hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities, mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Of course. He ruled Moonrise for centuries. That in itself deserves respect. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is intelligent, strong, and capable as both a leader and a fighter. An impressive woman. It is a shame that she devotes all of her talents and experience to the futile cause of the Harpers. Their devotion to preserving balance is pathetic. Precisely. Preservation and balance are an excuse for inaction and stagnation. There are organizations like the Harpers in every realm and every culture. I despise all of them. They fear change and would rather maintain mediocrity than face the risks and challenges that progress demands. I would rather break the world and build it anew than be satisfied with its imperfections.
I would not linger in this land over long. But, whatever your business, I will aid you if I can.
Well met. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready, and just when things...
You wanted something? Of course. What's next? There's no time to waste.
It is time we spoke about your heritage. There's a debt I must repay.
You claim to know something about me. You knew about the wolves. Tell me everything.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget. Shah's embrace is something that was forced upon you. It is not your true nature.
That can't be. I was always loyal to Shah.
Until you weren't. Do you think it was but a brief lapse? A moment of madness? No. I think you finally listened to your heart. When you freed me from the Shadowfell, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain, his inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to two others someplace distant. Let me help you remember, so there will be no doubt.
A memory appears at the forefront of your mind.
That wolf. That elf. Who was he?
You already know who he is. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood? He is your father. And he lives still. As does your mother. I felt them. Bound to you.
That can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman. One who knows what must be done.
I have to find my parents.
You will have to face your abductors in their very lair. In Baldur's Gate. There is one more way in which I can help you. You have been forewarned, and now you shall be forearmed. You will remember this spear, no doubt. It was to be the instrument of my death. Now, it will become a parting gift in exchange for my life.
I thought that was lost in the Shadowfell. How do you have it?
Shar is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough. I felt the spear call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shar calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it. You will need it. But what you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before. A debt repaid. You gave me my life back. Now go and claim your own.
There must be more you can tell me.
Your mind is a deep, dark wood. There are dead ends, shadowy corners, lurking threats. I was lucky to be able to glean as much as I did. Besides, there are more hardships ahead. Knowing too much may cause you to despair, while a little ignorance may shield you. One last thing. Your parents have been in the hands of Shah's followers for some 40 years. It must take tremendous will for mortals to hold out that long. See that their sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. Not on purpose. Or not with the intent to deceive. I've been trying to make sense of it all. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? You sound like my father. But it was more than that. This was no mere attraction. It was love. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheria came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what. It's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing. Rest. I'm grateful for your help. Your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long. But I'm grateful for a safe place to... well... just to be.
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well, and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. Listen to the subtle vibrations of the Moon Maiden thumping within your heart chambers, friend. She works her magic there. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder. Ketheric Thorm, father of my one and only love, enslaver of Dame Aelin. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me, even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isabel, by her love for me. When she died, curse the day, the hour, we each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
Shadowheart.
Camp life seems to suit the young owlbear. His coat of feathers seems fuller.
Looking ahead.
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Feel my voice, moonmate, my mate. Blessings upon the Slayer. We are a powerful... My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your... You must face... Pray, do I not... There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. A century of it, by now. I loved her from the moment I beheld her sweet face. Her great, wise eyes. Her father Ketheric never did trust me. He did not fancy an immortal for his daughter's paramour. When she died, curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by just... But lo, the brute is dead, and we...
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I was his bodyguard. I looked after him with my life. I trusted him more than anything. He gave me away to Zariel just for kicks. He ruined my life just when it was starting. And now he'll use up the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him! You bet your ass I am! And I won't stop till that fucker is dead!
I've been lied to. My whole life. And I was gullible enough to just believe it. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. A part that Shah denied to me. Indeed. But the truth may yet prove painful. Who knows what Shah still keeps from me? We'd better press on for now, and hope we're ready when the moment comes. But before that, there's one thing I need to see to. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me. I think I know what you mean. There's an undeniable rapport, and yet we haven't made time for each other. Time alone. Easily remedied, if you like. I know a place. Not just yet. Let's choose our moment. Some quiet night, when the others are asleep and there's no distractions, I'll come for you.
Let's get on with it.
To do.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious. If you're sure. Fine.
Taken from the light, the truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart can follow its light, or she can retreat back into dusk. That's the spirit.
A hero at heart.
Still breathing, despite everything.
So, and here I was, worried I'd be the only one with a difficult family reunion waiting in the city. Oh, darling, it sounds awful.
I would not linger in this land over long. But, whatever your business, I will aid you if I... As you wish. Hmm?
Ah, another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. There are many answers to that question. None are important. Correct. No. Thou walkest alone on all these harsh nights. Love is no domain of mine, but it is often cited as the purpose of mortal life. Wherefore turnst thou from it? And thus thou... Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Or as thou desire?
Call and I answer.
Where am I needed?
This ought to be good.
No one back home will ever believe this. Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
A hero at heart.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Let us show them how it's done. All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Ketheric is defeated, the path ahead clear. You should be elated. But the sight of the land you leave behind does nothing to alleviate your sorrow.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prison bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
I itch to peel you, to split your skin, to see your skull shine in the light. Little tyrant. Lucky for you, I harvested a whole family of living flesh in Rivington at high sun. They will sate my blade thirst tonight. Oh, but tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, my blades will thirst again.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
It does not surprise me that Shadowheart's faith was based on a lie. Deception is the sum of Shah's design.
Poor Shadowheart. She's been jerked around so much. I want to believe the gods keep this world balanced, but sometimes I wonder.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey.
Shadowheart was no true child of Shah, merely a captive. She must have her vengeance.
Well met.
Shadowheart has found a little bit of herself again. Selûne cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? I've passed enough years that counting them is a waste of what remains. Which is to say, yes, I am that old. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in a trap. And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth.
Soldier?
Begone, friend. I have a darling to adore. Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the chosen of Bane and Baal. I will do my part to see them laid low. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Why, she already has. So mighty a her one.
I can't believe it. And my father, by killing him, you set him free. You set Aelin free. And me, not on purpose. Or not with the intent to deceive. Ketheric Thorm. He raised when an Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black, black, black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. And a monster he'd become. A Mercolite. I didn't know that then. But I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows, made a shelter there, prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheria came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land, my home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them, and myself, no matter what. I did. Who would trust the next of kin of Ketheric Thorm? But But I have no more secrets. It's all out in the open now. And with my I'm great.
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. We will kill him, but there's more to it. Think about it. It sounds like Cazador, for all his evils, has gotten further than any of my kind ever have. He's on the verge of a miracle. This may be a beginning, not an end. I can see myself now. Lord, King, Master. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador's changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
The Absolute should be a thing of the past, and I with it. Yet, at the risk of angering Mistra further, I'm glad it didn't come to that, given what has come to light. Indeed. Under other circumstances, I might have been subdued or ashamed. But after what we saw, I must admit, I'm excited. The Elder Brain. But more importantly, the crown that it wore. Even without seeing it for myself, I could sense it. Netherese magic. So pure, so complete. And I doubted what I was feeling at first. Most Netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power, the ghost of an echo of a memory. That crown was different. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but no matter. It exists. I must learn more of it. I know what nearly happened, and I'm sorry for putting you in that position. But I've stepped back from the precipice now. I've seen what may prove to be another way. A better way. That crown sits on a gargantuan elder brain bent on destroying us and everything we hold dear. Understanding its true nature might unlock the means of our victory. We need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown must have been documented somewhere. As luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep. Sorcerous Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. The only kind I have? Their collection of rare tomes is unparalleled. Netherese texts are hardly commonplace, but I'm certain they'll have one or two stashed away. You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold water, this could be the answer to all our problems.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Will you liberate them from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
The reckoning is upon us! The city thirsts for domination. March! Join power.
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Quickly.
Well, so much for peace.
Unleash me.
Come quickly! I can't do this without you!
Come on. Can't stay idle. Where's our Dream Guardian?
I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack. It's not over. Come to the skull.
Such authority.
Where am I needed?
Still breathing, despite everything.
You will be cleansed.
Ready for battle.
It's not over. Come to the skull. Hurry! I can't hold them back alone. I need you, now. It's not over. Come to the skull.
in danger indeed, Mind Flayer. What the hell's is happening?
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You do not understand. He will attack anyone that reeks of Illithid. That includes you. And you will not even be able to defend yourself. If you kill him, the Absolute will enthrall you. I am not your enemy. Do not be driven by fear. Trust me now, and I promise you will have all the answers you seek. Now, help me. Fool! Without me, you will perish. I'm not your enemy. The Githyanki are.
On the hunt.
The blade will not bend.
What are you doing? Help me. Destroy the Honor Guard. I die. You die.
Its labored breaths resound like a death knell in your mind, tolling for the end of all hopes of survival and freedom. With startling clarity, you realize the Mind Flayer was telling the truth. If it dies, so do you.
Thank you. With your help, we will both survive.
the straight path.
Your reluctance to help nearly cost us everything. You saw reason just in time. Don't look at me like that. I'm a mind flayer, yes. And the one who saved you again.
And so we should swoon and offer a kiss, abomination? Ah, I would not even know where to plant it.
I suppose it was considerate of you not to bring it up before. And I ask that you do not judge me for it now. I was someone once. Someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them. Rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield. The largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence. Though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call me Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Vlaakith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Vlaakith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Vlaakith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Vlaakith will be finished. A very good question. One that I have been unable to answer. That Orpheus lives at all is ruinous to Vlaakith. She has done everything in her power to keep his existence a secret. That Gortash and the Chosen found out about it. This is impossible to explain. But it was important enough to them that Gortash sent me to retrieve it. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain. The Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I'm glad you think so. I agree. But there is one thing that you have that I do not. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. Yours continues to limit you. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss.
Well chosen. An accursed advantage, but an advantage all the same.
You continue to surprise me. Even as you are, you have shown rationality that puts you far above your kind. You will do well as an Illithid. Now, hold out your hand. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens, its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
You are exquisite. When your allies see what you can do, I hope you encourage them to try it for themselves. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain and bring it under our control.
The pride of the gate.
These things have stayed interesting.
The orb hums with cerebral magic, permeable but impenetrable. Within it, the Githyanki prince is as silent as a corpse, but for the murmur of his powers being siphoned away.
Go to the city. Try out your new form. Enjoy it.
By Balduran's bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything? Ah, yes. Gith's only son. Locked away in his astral prison for defying Vlaakith. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the Illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it. Yes, and at a great cost, partial ceremorphosis. I won't begrudge you your choice. As for me, though, I'm not ready. I might never be. The coast is ever my priority. If you think we need this, very well. I will avail myself of the astral tadpole's powers.
Life pulses from within. The parasite's thoughts whisper at the edge of your mind. It wants to share itself with you. It wants to be let in.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens. Its yearning almost unbearable. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
Perhaps, once the others see what you can do, they will consider trying it for themselves.
So your mysterious artifact, tamer of parasites, is only another parasite itself. How do you feel? Knowing the cost of keeping your transformation at bay. No notions of heroism put you above human failings. I should know. I've had my share of songs written about me. Illithids are monstrous creatures. But in the end, they are only that. Creatures. And if it can, a parasite will keep its host fat, happy, and safe. Until it is finished feeding, at least. Am I comforting you? I am not comforting myself. Use the Emperor as it would use you. Or discard it. My days of doubting you are done. Ask it.
You wish to consult me? We will need every advantage to survive the battles that are to come. And my illithid parasite has already shown its worth. If this superior tadpole is capable of unlocking my mind's full potential, it is a tempting proposition. Its influence on you is plain to see. You are sublime. I will be unstoppable.
Life pulses from within. It wants to share itself.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens. Its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
Perhaps, once the others see what you can do, they will consider trying it for themselves.
You wish to consult me?
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prism.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. And even more powerful still. It said he could bring 1,000 Githyanki to their knees with one command. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the Archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed and the sower. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. It also promises to break us beyond repair. This ossified parasite does not make us more, but less. Do you not feel the cold where once there was heat? The void where your soul once resided? Galik, the Elder Brain. It could be the harbinger of the grand design and the doom of the Githyanki. The end time of the 16 planes will be upon us, and the Astral would be the first to fall. Very well. I will accept what this damnable Geichrok has to offer. Yisk Githkar Tafki Krashet. Something it eludes me. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. the Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a gay hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something? I haven't even dared to use the more benign forms of Illithid powers. Do you really think I'm eager to jump to the next step? Do you know what this entails? Well, of course you do. But I don't want that for myself. Fine. I truly hope you're right about this.
A mind flayer's been getting their tentacles all over our dreams this whole time. I'm really not sure about putting any trust at all in this thing. It's already shown itself a liar. I've got my eyes on the Emperor, and Karlach doesn't blink. Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are. Great powers, huh? I'm skeptical. Thought you'd be too. Especially if this thing wants to turn you into, what, a half squid? Then again, you can pull it off better than most. You've got to be kidding. You really want me to become a partial Illithid? Wasn't a decade in Avernus punishment enough? Oh, I'm that easy to manipulate, am I? Where's that bloody worm? Stick it in my eye before I change my mind.
nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp. Don't look at me like that. I know what you're going to say. The answer is no. No.
Capability, alacrity, quickness. The feeling the world was made for you. Such is the potential of the illithid kind. He sees it, yet he fears it still. As you pick apart his mind, you discover his worst memory. That which brings him the purest terror. Complete solitude after being disobedient. Sealed, buried alive. Voiceless. Will this be forever? A year of horror, then the release. He will never disobey again.
Damn you. All right. I'll do it.
Begone, friend. I have a darling to adore.
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her. I can only imagine what I could do were I to adopt the biology of a mind flayer. Certainly doesn't seem to have done you any harm. Or rather, you've not yet done me any harm. Still, there are undoubtedly risks to such a transformation. If this is what the fates have offered to aid our cause, then who am I to refuse? I'll take your tadpole. Let's see what it has to offer.
Nature's servant awaits.
Camp life seems to suit the young owl there.
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves, and take their nether stones.
Something over there.
Defender of the people.
All right. What now?
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. She went looking for herbs. That's what she said. Said it was for the spots. She had them all in her hands and face. She said she wouldn't be gone long. But that was a whole 10 days ago.
The herbs you know for salving sores would take effect immediately. It seems unlikely this child's mother will return.
Thank you. I was getting hungry. Mum made a big stew before she left. She's the best cook ever. But I ate it all. I'll look for her. I think she'll probably come soon. Thanks a lot.
I do not understand why the matrons, patriarchs of the city do not open their gates to the refugees. I was not suggesting they be allowed to roam free. They should be put to work. The city needs laborers and fodder to protect it. I am suggesting they be fed and sheltered, and that they work in return. Call it whatever you wish. Perhaps you think it would be better for them to starve or be slaughtered here, while the citizens hide behind their walls.
All the treats your tummy can handle.
What do you get out of this? Well, it's the right thing to do, isn't it? Everyone deserves the chance to make some coin. If I hire the refugees, then I get cheap labor and they get coin. It's a good deal for everyone.
If my friend tries to get you to invest, kindly turn her down. She doesn't need the encouragement.
I just told you. 6.
Stinks of cheese between his piggy toes.
How dare you? What in the hells is all of this?
A necessity, good sir. The Steel Watch loves pretending sweet Rivington doesn't exist. So we have decided to protect you, dear patrons. No need to thank us. You'll be allowed in once I've done this batch. Next! Hello, hello, and welcome to the Circus of the Last Days, the finest extra-planar circus there is. Oh, this is Benjamin. Say hi, Benji.
Meat!
Benji here checks all our patrons to make sure none of you are vicious murderers. Can't be too careful. But enough of this. The circus is a place of joy and distraction, so come inside and forget your worries. Not a problem, dear patron. Benji just has to check if you're a vicious murderer. Benji?
Brain juice smells like piss and iron. No like.
Oh, well, that's a first. Usually I'd allow you in, but in these times, I can take no chances. Move along. No circus for you. Oh, damned if I'm not a sucker for big eyes and a heartfelt plea. Very well. Welcome to the Circus of the Last Days. Have fun, and be sure to catch the star of our show, Dribbles the Clown.
Ooh, a circus! Oh, I love the raucous revelry, the goofs and the guffaws.
Do not stand too close. The flames have a life of...
Get it right this time, or I'll resurrect someone who can! Ah! Lucille! It's Pose, Grapevine, then, and Boris. Boris! Put some sensuality into those lovely hip bones. I know you have it in you. We are decades from that. I hope they could open for dribbles. Not that my star needs the support, but at this rate, who knows? Call me Lucretius, ringmaster, necromancer, bringer of the night. Oh, and wine lover extraordinaire. Normally, I'd invite you into my tent for a lovely vintage. But these graceless skellies need my full attention. Enjoy my circus, darling.
Get your shinies and Tritos!
That drow's nose was as crooked...
Oh, hungry little hobgoblin. Want a Trito? I has lots of Tritos, and magics, and junks I finds. Don't worry. I only takes junks from dead people. I is nice. Yes! I has lots of stuffs. Just for you. Bye-bye now. Every sail up a set.
Darling, we have a customer. Is your camp drab? Dreary? Then you have come to the right place. Browse our bespoke, stony and bony creations. Or commission a statue in your likeness. It is our most sought-after service. Oh, you shall be thrilled and delighted. I know it. Nothing caught your eye? I shan't tell my wife.
Work to be done.
Drow's nose was as crooked as you carved, my darling. He was simply in denial.
Harboring is not all heroics. It was slowing you down anyway.
Approach, ugly one. Yes, behold, Akabi's Wheel of Wonders. Spin to win prizes beyond your tiny imagination and make your miserable life more bearable. Akabi has traveled across the plains, burning and conquering all. Win the spoils of such conquest. Or, if luck smiles upon you, win the grand prize, the jackpot. No more questions. Spin or don't. Let us see. Impossible. You thief! You cheated! You dare! Enjoy the jackpot, mewling cad!
Where? Hold. Whatever that learning thing is, I know a hunter when I see it.
Stalking.
Time has not hardened my hands just yet.
How did the despicable cheetah enjoy her vacation? Akabi is delighted you enjoyed it, repugnant mortal. Begone! Akabi is sick of you!
Who's next?
No one stopped me yet.
Does this arsehole not understand common? Do you want to buy face paints? Mm.
The beast ignores you, her eyes locked on the crowd. You see a tidal wave of hate and violence in her eyes. Before she turns away, she will attack and kill at the first opportunity. While the cage is sturdy, the lock is old. It could be jammed shut, so not even a key could open it. It jams shut, trapping her within.
keep me out.
Kitchen. Visitors kindly keep to common areas. Food will be served at meal times.
I've said all I have to say already. Now I just want to pack up my kitchen and leave. Father Lorgan's gone. Murdered. And now they're blaming a refugee for it. Some folk didn't like how he looked after the refugees. But I don't think they'd kill him for it. At least, I hope they wouldn't. That's a scary thought.
That might be worth a look. That might be worth a look. Be wary. This place is trapped.
Here lies Sister Shira Clarwin, date of birth unknown, died 1491 DR, the amulet's spirit's granddaughter. She's already gone.
Darling Shira, faithful to the crying god, long didst I wait, only to find thine empty flesh. Gone thou might be, alas. Honored Shira, her spirit hath fled, and her body but merely a husk. Swear I did to shed this foul mania, and bestow it upon Shira. She was to endure, to suffer, as was her god Ilmata's wont. Who now shall bear the madness Shah has wrought on me, so I might no longer suffer? Oh, shall it be thou?
Your muscles tingle and your mouth twitches as the laughing madness spreads through you. The madness tugs at your mind, prods in places best left untouched. You feel your wisdom begin to drain. You remain wise as ever, even as Shah's madness spreads outward. You giggle, struck by the absurdity of the moment. A spirit hiding inside an amulet has brought you to the body of his granddaughter and possessed it. Outrageous. Ridiculous. Once again, you feel your wisdom draining away. Hilarious. What is it? You focus on the source of the power, but it is quiet and still. It needs to rest. The urge to laugh dwindles. You can't help but chuckle. You withstood the monk's madness and earned Tasha's hideous laughter.
My friend, forgive me, for this mind was not mine own. May laughter be thy gift, never thy curse. The morning lord calls. Canst thou feel the warmth of his blessing? This is not my final twilight, but a new dawn. Farewell.
The corpse is an empty husk once more. The monk, liberated from madness, is finally at peace.
He's gone. Well, it was always good for a laugh.
Here lies Reloric Windbane, born 30. Here lies Satida Atana, born 1411 DR, died 1485 DR. Here lies Flintster Sunseeker, born 1400 DR, died 1456 DR.
Look, investigator. Brilgor might have been a criminal, but he was no murderer. You're missing something. You have to be.
Enough, Yanis. Listen to yourself. You are defending a man who ritually slaughtered your high priest. The evidence speaks for itself. Brilgor killed Father Lorgan, then, be it out of shame or profane duty, offed himself with the same blade. Case closed, Sister Yanis.
Shitey little elephant. Oh, I apologize, stranger. Language like that hardly befits a rector of Ilmater. Thank you. I wouldn't normally speak so harshly, but these are rather unique circumstances. 2 people just died on temple grounds. Our High Priest, Father Lorgan, and one of the new refugees, Brilgor. Investigator Valeria thinks it's a murder, and is content to blame Brilgor, the politically convenient target. Brilgor was a refugee. No one sticks up for them at the best of times, and with Gortash in power...
They make a fine target for the real culprit, too. Unlikely to be missed, where they weren't wanted to begin with.
Well, I expect the Flaming Fists will ban refugee aid now one of them's blamed for murder. Feel free to look around the temple. But fair warning, the investigator won't change her mind without significant new evidence. Charetta's caress would be my best bet. That's her usual haunt after closing a case. Valeria never found the murder weapon, so that could be a start. Anything disproving the refugee murder-suicide angle, really. I really hope you find something. What in the hells was that?
Felt like an earthquake. As if I didn't have problems enough already.
Sage material.
That might be worth a look.
That collar looks familiar. Does this cat belong to Gale?
You notice the Tressym guards a shiny ring and stack of letters at its feet. You grab the ring, spooking the Tressym.
Wherever we go, ye gods, let there be something green.
headline. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Ah! A new face! Something to send? Don't be shy. Welcome to Sword Coast Couriers. To send and to serve. Delivery not guaranteed. Well, we've had to change the policy. Hard to send letters by road when there's a rampaging army of fanatics bearing down on you. I'll tell you, it's left me in a right pickle. I've sent what I can by pigeon, but now something's attacking them and all. Become a postmaster, Danzo. It'll be easy. Nobody mentions having to spend your evenings hunting for pigeon carcasses, do they?
You sense there's more to his anxiety than a few missing letters.
Thank the gods! Unopened as well. Oh, what a relief. My customers will be most pleased. Please, take this. You've earned it 10 times over.
Something over there.
They can square with whatever they like.
Hi, welcome to the Rivington General. Browse carefully, the weapons are sharp. Hi! Want a blade? Or a bow? Or a dagger? Or maybe a spear is more your thing? You look like you know how to use a spear. By spear. What'd you say, huh? Oh, yay! Want more? Want less? Wanna sell? Wanna buy? You know where I am. Bye!
Why don't you take your complaints to them? It would be most pleasing to sleep indoors for once.
Zog said to leave, so we're leaving. End of story.
Paramidians, one of our red cap cleaners alerted me.